Alright, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to tonight's Share League match between Heroes of the Frat and Team Banana Bread. Just going ahead and giving out the draft links here real quick, and then we will be all ready to go. Alright, so let's see here. Draft links have been given out. Whoops. Just gotta get the observer link here in my browser, and we should be good to go. Just waiting on my slow PC to load this up, but it's looking like Here's the Frat is ready, so I'm going to switch on over to the draft. And hopefully Team Banana Bread will be ready up here shortly. Okay, cool. And the draft has begun. So, Heroes of the Frat, they do have first pick, first ban. It is going to be KT. You know, this is someone who's really made it back into the meta in a big way. I think he's up about 10% on hot slogs over last week. So, the changes to him really having a big impact. Really impacting how often he's played. And we're seeing him once again be first pick, first ban worthy. So it is going to be KT for Heroes of the Frat. And it's going to be Rhaegar, banned out by Team Banana Bread. So probably the best support in the game is banned out. Although I think Tyrande is ahead of him at the moment, which, as a Tyrande main, I am very happy about. But no real changes to Rhaegar, but we have seen him fall a little bit. So we could maybe see Li Ming picked up. Could maybe see Falstad picked up. You know, this is such a big map that Falstad with his global mobility is really, really good on this map. It's not like a bit of a broken record this week, but all of the placement matches have been on Sky Temple, but it's going to be it's going to be Li Ming for Heroes of the Frat, but it's going to be Abathur, first pick by Team Banana Bread. Definitely a fairly brave first pick. He is a hero who can be countered fairly easily, so definitely have to be careful about picking him as early as first. So, but interesting. Wonder who we're going to see him paired with. It is going to be Falstad, so this team has all sorts of split soaking potential. Yeah, they have Falstad who can easily fly to a lane. They have Abathur who can body soak in a lane while giving the symbiote to someone who's in the fight. But it's going to be the next two picks for Heroes of the Frat. And it's going to be ETC. So ETC does pair very well with Li Ming. He can set up a mosh pit, and Li Ming can just unload all of her spells on anyone in the mosh pit. If she gets a kill on someone in the mosh pit, of course her trait Critical Mass will kick in. All of her abilities will be reset, and she can just do it again. Basically keep doing it until everyone is dead inside the mosh pit. And Abathur doesn't have anything in terms of... Well, it's a little early in the draft to worry about interrupts for ETC, but not much for Abathur. Falstack can gust away, and I think if he gets the stun at level 16 on his Hammerang, he can also interrupt it. It's going to be Lunara for Heroes of the Frat. So they've picked up their tank. They've picked up, I would imagine, the bulk of their damage. I don't think they're going to need much more in terms of that. Li Ming provides a great deal of burst, and Lunara gives a great deal of damage over time. But Brightwing is going to be banned out by Team Banana Bread, so really hurting the ability of Heroes of the Frat to counter counter with some split soaking of their own. Brightwing, one of the heroes who can definitely do that. Dahaka is another one, but I wouldn't expect him to be picked up with ETC already picked. Although, I don't know. I could see that being useful. You know who else has this split soaking potential now? Thanks to her second ult being good, Zagara. You know, she can easily put Nidus worms across the map and go ahead, hop in that worm, and zip around from lane to lane. And really just soak XP from all of those. But it's going to be Diablo banned out by Heroes of the Frat. Can be worried about more interrupts to Mosh Pit. And Diablo with Apocalypse is definitely one of the better ones. I think with ETC picked up and Diablo banned out, and no Warrior being picked up by Team Banana Bread, Heroes of the Frat could be trying to ban out potential good Warrior picks as well. But it's going to be Lily picked up for Team Banana Bread. Seemed like we saw a bit of a resurgence with Lily last weekend and last week. I don't think it worked out too well for many of the teams who are trying her out. So I think she's quickly gone away again, but for this match, she's making a comeback. But Johanna going to be the last pick for, going to be the Warrior pick for Team Banana Bread. Last pick this round. They did get 2 picks, so. But Johanna, I do think is a solid Warrior choice for Team Banana Bread. I think Johanna goes well with Abathur. Condemn can pull everyone around her, and then the spike attack, don't know the exact name of it, but from Abathur it shoots out in every direction and it can easily hit everything condemned by Johanna. But Johanna also has the blinds, which are very effective against an auto attacker like Lunara. But it's going to be Tyrael as the secondary pickup for ETC. I guess if they're really worried about Mosh Pit being erupted, they could do Mosh Pit Sanctification. But the fact that they banned out Diablo, I thought they might pick up Uther to protect ETC during his Mosh Pit, but it is going to be Malfurion. And Chen is the final pickup for Team Banana Bread. So they're not Team Banana Bread, they're Team Panda. They have Lily and Chen, and then they have the fairly unorthodox Abathur first pick. They also have False and Johanna. I didn't see much in terms of an attempt to counter Abathur, which I'm a little surprised by. Normally you might see a Zeratul or a Nova, or even a Tyrande, someone who can snipe him out, but no real attempt to try to counter Abathur. So it seems like they're just trying for a really straight up comp. Nah, they're just gonna play it straight up. But wait on everyone to ready up here. It is an interesting draft by Team Banana Bread. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but I think the Lily pick is interesting. I think the Chen pick is interesting. They may be looking to dive Lunara with Chen. Chen is actually one of the better dive warriors, strangely enough. If Chen takes Wandering Keg, what he can do is he can do Flying Kick onto a target, actually go behind them, and then use the Wandering Keg to push that hero out of position, and then let the team pick them off. But the game is now underway, so let's go ahead and get this started. So KC Rafted is going to be on Lunara, Burnicus on Li Ming, Marvin on Malfurion, Balanon on ETC, and Liger on Tyrael. And it's going to be Strat on Lily, Corsair on Johanna, Rakeman on Falstad, Bomberdog on Chen, and Doggenstein on Abathur. Very interesting. It does look like Heroes of the Frat. May have been a Heroes of the Dorm team because they have all of the. I believe those are all Heroes of the Dorm icons. So very cool. They're not your heroes of the dorm, they're your heroes of the frat! I'm not going to try to do a serious tasteless imitation. Something I have to warm up for in practice, and I have not done that. This is going to be Knight takes pawn for Johanna. I think they might be a little weak in terms of wave clear, so definitely agree with that. Does seem to be the standard pick. Malfurion is going to be going for the Innervate cooldown reduction.
Go fight.
And it looks like a regen master for Tyrael. But we're going to see a bit of a fight for the top temple. Or sorry, the watchtower. Even though Falside got there first, because they do have Abathur, they're going to be a little bit weak in terms of the early game team fighting. So Falside's going to have to get out of there. He is in some trouble, but just barely manages to barrel roll out of there in time. Johanna running for her life. Puts down the blind on Lunara. I'm not sure it's going to be enough, and Johanna is going to fall. So far an early lead for Heroes of the Frat. Now we're going to see Lunara go to the bottom lane. And then it looks like it's going to be Falstad to join her. You know, Lunara does seem to be kind of one of these assassins slash specialists. She really put out a lot of damage, but it does require targets to mostly stay still, so you think minions and buildings she'd be really good against, and sure enough she is, but gotta have to Hearth very early. Falstad with that Abathur hat can definitely do some big damage. But we do see Burdicus coming down to cover the lane, so she can go back and recover her health and mana for the for these two temple fights. So control the middle temple is going to go over to Heroes of the Frat for the time being. ETC, gotta be careful, make sure he's standing all the way in there. But it looks like both teams are going to be content to trade these out. Although Johanna Falstad may be thinking of invading this this middle temple. It's going to be difficult with 2.5 members. The half being the potential symbiote from Abathur. It would definitely have a difficult time invading. What I do like about Team Banana, they do have someone soaking in all three lanes, whereas only Tyrael is soaking the top lane, and up until right now, no one was soaking the bottom lane. Now, Abathur going to have to get out of there. The Locust going to give away his position. But Lunara probably getting a little too far away to soak XP from those minions over there. Going to be in a little bit of trouble. The mine is going to hit her, but Falstad not going to finish her off entirely. She may have to Hearth again. No, she has tap available. But Lunara really taking a lot of damage down here. But meanwhile, in the middle lane, seen a pretty solid push going on by ETC and Malfurion. Not you would expect to see that from necessarily, but it's only Johanna defending. Can definitely do some work there. But it is Li Ming and Tyrael up in the top lane against Chen, who is fairly immoral, especially when he has his niece with him. That is his niece, right? I'm not 100% sure, but pretty sure. Yeah, it is, because Lily's always like, my uncle taught me that. So, yeah. But, let's see. So, not too much else going on. It looks like the Bruiser camp is going to be picked up by Team Banana Bread. Could be a little bit early. They may finish off the camp, but not cap it until the bottom temples come up. But, I think that's actually about to be coming up soon. So, they're probably okay to get that right now. But we do say a very slight XP lead for Heroes of the Frat, but that is not going to matter because level 7 has been reached by both teams. But yeah, the bottom temple is coming up. And it looks like the top camp is still going to push, but I take that back because the Bruiser camp is going to be picked up by Heroes of the Frat, and these are basically going to cancel each other out, so With that being picked up, they can now fully focus their attention on the bottom temple and not have to worry about top anymore. But so far, control of this temple is going over to Team Banana Bread, but Falstad in a lot of trouble. Rakeman going to barrel roll out of there once again. But Johanna, Big Condemn, sucks in almost everyone. In fact, that may have been the whole team. And everyone is incredibly low on both teams, except Chen, because he's immortal. Chen, very difficult character to kill off. But everyone here is in the Frat. They do have tap available. They go ahead and hit the well. And I don't think Falstad, wow, Falstad does get out of there. Didn't think he was going to survive that time. But ETC getting awfully low. But everyone on Team Banana Bread, they realize that they're going to have to abandon the temple for the time being, tap the well, and then hope to re-engage. But Falstad, once again, in a lot of trouble. And once again, is just barely going to live. Yeah, Falstad barely lives. Lunara ends up falling. Balanon, I thought he was going to be able to power slide out of there. But he ends up falling. And that is a 4-for-1 trade in terms of Team Banana Bread. Or sorry, in favor of Team Banana Bread. And that's really bad because not only that, but level 10 has been reached by Team Banana Bread. And all that time, Abathur has just been soaking the middle lane, enjoying that slug life. And they're pushing their advantage even harder. Johanna wailing away on this middle wall. Going to have to be careful. I don't think she can be sure who's behind. Well, now she has the wall down. Now she has vision of everyone behind there. But Johanna is a very difficult character to kill, so probably even if the team had engaged on her, probably would have been okay. But now, here's the Frat. They've got to worry about getting 10. And, okay, of course, as I say that, that's right when they get it. But this is a 3-on-3 in the middle, but this is in favor of Team Banana Bread because of the symbiote hat, which can easily be thrown on someone. But yeah, we do see Wandering Keg by Chen. It looks like he was trying to dive Tyrael, but not the easiest character to dive. Probably would prefer to get Malfurion with that little technique, but Malfurion, if he's staying back, it'll be very difficult to reach. So meanwhile, we have this 4-on-3 here in the middle lane, and that whole time Lunara's been just pounding away at the top lane, slugging at some XP. I'm not sure she's gonna get out of there in time. In fact, yeah, Chen dives on her, and Lunara unable to hearth away in time. So great rotation by Team Banana Bread. Great awareness of what's going on. And Johanna being engaged on, but she is going to be okay, especially with the rest of her team coming to her aid. And Johanna took Falling Sword. That interesting choice of ult. And the aggression pays off. ETC falls. Unfortunately, Tranquility used. Not going to get too much value out of that. That's going to be down for the next minute and a half or so. So level 13 is about to be reached by Team Banana Bread. And they have a pretty commanding lead here. Going into this next temple phase. Now, the bottom temple is picked up by Heroes of the Frat, but they've got to be worried, especially because Lunara just got picked off. They're a little bit trapped here. None of these characters really have much in terms of an escape. Tyrael, I believe, has used his Q, his Eldruins of Might already, so he can't get out. But Sanctification goes down. I'm not sure it's going to ultimately save anyone. The Jugs comes down from Lili, and that is going to keep everyone alive through the invulnerable disintegration. And that is going to be a 4-for-0 trade. I am counting Lunara in that. In terms of Team Banana Bread. And then Falstad flies up to the middle temple to force ETC off of there. They might get the pick on him. He does. ETC ends up falling. So this is a commanding lead for Team Banana Bread, and this is where it really gets scary, because if you're level 13 and 16, and especially 20, are where Abathur gets his big power spikes. So up until then, like, he hasn't even been that much of a... all that strong of a hero. But now that he's gotten his power spike, it's about to get even worse for Heroes of the Frat. So yeah, Abathur is going to really get his ability to push the lanes out. And that's going to really snowball this in the favor of Team Banana Bread. But the great Wandering Keg, the great dive by Chen, goes down on Lunara. Lunara, a character who doesn't have the greatest in terms of escapes in the world, gets picked off. And ETC gets picked off as well. Can we see the boss picked up by Team Banana Bread? And that is exactly what we're going to see. So, I mean, so far this is really getting away from Heroes of the Frat. Not too much they can do other than possibly soak lanes and maybe grab their camps, push the lanes out. I mean, they really can't win a fight here, down 3 levels and a talent tier, and a big talent tier. But, you know, I take back what I said about Abathur. It doesn't look like he's going with any kind of push build. In fact, he's just been content to just basically chill behind this wall, basically for the entirety of the match. Just seems like he's going a pure symbiote build. And that is turning Chen even into an even more immortal, deadly killing machine. But with this camp being picked up, and I assume that they'll also pick up their own Bruiser camp, but this entire map is going to be painted red. In fact, their siege just came off cooldown. But just... The map is just firmly in control of Team Banana Bread. Well, a big power slide goes down by ETC. But it's not going to matter. I think that was a clone Johanna, both the clone Johanna and the real Johanna with their Iron Skin active. So even if ETC had done Mosh Pit, it would not have mattered. But the clone Johanna is going to fall, so probably going to have to back out for the time being. And meanwhile, while they've been pushing that top lane and winning, they've had Chen just sitting on this middle temple and just really getting a lot done. In addition to that, Lily has, oops, sorry about that. Lily has gone ahead and started on the top temple. It's looking like the rest of her team going to rotate up. Although, actually, it's just Chen. It looks like the other is going to go ahead and pick up their own Bruiser camp. So yeah, I mean, basically all of these camps recently have gone to Team Banana Bread. And it's looking like they're very aggressively sending Lily to solo the opposing team's Siege Giants while Johanna picks up their own. So very aggressive plays here by Team Banana Bread. So we now see a 4-level lead and a talent tier lead in favor of Team Banana Bread. They may be thinking about trying to get a pick here at any of the game. Lunara falls, Malfurion is going to fall. The Mosh Pit goes down on 3 members, but it's not going to matter. Yeah, it was a great combo there by Li Ming, but Falstad, the Mosh Pit ends just in time for Falstad to get out of that and Gus Li Ming away. A very aggressive falling sword by Johanna is going to secure that last kill. And folks, I think this is going to be game. Level 20 has been reached by Team Banana Bread. That is a full team wipe. All keeps are down. Honestly, this was a pretty unorthodox team, I think. I mean, Shen Lili, first pick Abathur. But really showing just a really strong performance by Team Banana Bread. Very dominant fashion. Yeah, I think it was really the team fight. If I could just switch back to this here, I really think it was the team fight at the bottom temple that really secured it. So what we saw happen there was, let's play this back in my head. So we saw Team Banana they were holding the temple. Uh, Here's of the Frat, they were poking in. They had to use their well first, but then they kept poking. They were unable to secure a kill, and then Team Banana Bread they pulled out. They get the well, and then due to being healthier, they end up re-engaging and end up taking that fight. And it really just snowballed from there. The split soaking from Abathur and Falstad put them ahead for good. And it just what became a slight lead became an even bigger lead. Uh, what do you want to do in this game? Once you're ahead, you want to get even more ahead, and they did a fantastic job of that. And once they had that lead, there was no looking back. They just really ran away with it. I think a lot of the credit I think goes to that Chen and the Abathur. It's really that combo. Yeah, I mean that Chen could really dive aggressively. The symbiote really helped him out with that. The Great Wandering Kegs really picked people off and just really helped them get out to a big lead. So, I mean, hey, great job to Team Banana Bread. These were placement matches, but definitely look like a very strong team. Look forward to seeing where they place in Season 3. But that's going to do it for this game. I will have another one here coming up here in about half an hour. Probably get that going. Probably get the stream up in about 20 minutes. But thanks, guys, for watching. I will be back shortly. Thanks, guys.